Welcome back, everybody. First video of the new year. No, second video of the new year. I'm lying. And first video on your GT86 that we said we weren't doing any more videos on. So,
Oops.
well, yeah. So I'm gonna flip the camera so you can see what I'm looking at. So you can see it's snowy, so it's perfect weather for doing this in. But we were fed up of your sat nav being very, very out of date.
And getting lost.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So we bought. So yep, replacement radio. So it's a doubled in with Android Auto and whatever the Apple one is, CarPlay. But this one links up to your dash cam because it's the same brand as the dash cam we've got. So in theory they should work together, but we'll see how that goes. But one of the main things we wanted was a reverse camera because your car is weirdly short but also weirdly long, so it's difficult to judge where the back of it is. So we thought we'll get one that's compatible with that. Got a fitting kit in here too, and then as you saw at the start we have this. Left over from your Mazda 2 when you had that was a sub box, which is up there, we'll show you that later, that we're going to also put in. It's probably not going to stay as a sub box because it's large and it's square and it takes up all of the boot space, and you want to keep it usable boot.
In the Mazda 2, I could just use the back seats as a boot space, but with the way the GT86 doors are and the fact that when I get to the car it's usually on the floor because of air ride, it's not really that easy to use the back seats as a boot, so I kind of need that boot space.
Yeah, and actually while we were out grabbing that wiring kit, you spotted a sub setup that I'd not seen before, which I think you're going to go for instead. Maybe. So it's a sort of, how big were the subs?
It was
7 inches or something like that.
I thought it was 6. I don't know.
Either way, it's in like a triangle shape, and it's 3 smaller subs designed to fit where your spare wheel used to go. You were talking about an under-seat one instead to keep the boot space clear, but this might work better because you do have a spare wheel well in the back of the car. But for now, we're going to throw in the old sub box with the 2, I think they're 12-inch, 10 or 12s in for now, and see how we get on. But I think we're probably going to have to do speaker upgrades as well as your subs as well, so we'll see how that goes. But I think first thing is get into your IC car and pull out the old radio, which from what I've researched should be a fairly straightforward job.
We'll see. Never say it's straightforward. It's the car.
Should be. I said should be. I'm going to give you instructions because I've looked this up and this is your car and you like to help where you can. So, from what I can find, this panel is just clipped in. So using their trim removal tool, you should be able to get in underneath and just pull it off. Should be able to.
This is not fitting in.
Okay, let me see if I've got a small tool. Okay. That one's probably no good. Try that one. See if you can get in there.
It's equally as.
Unfortunately, yeah, there you go. You might need to use 2 of them. So it's probably a good thing I've got both. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's it.
Do you remember where the clips are?
No, I don't know where the clips are. You might have to just go run up the side. As with anything, this is plastic, so just be gentle with it. Especially yours, because it's got wrap on it. Yeah, I saw you track your finger there.
Yeah, there's a bit of mild panic in there.
Then sort of run it up the side. There you go. That's it. And there we go. So, now it's just a case of, there's 410 mils, 2 on each side. at the time of the release of this car, Toyota designed this to be modified, and I think this is a good example of that, because I think they knew people would want to swap these radios out. So this is just a fraction bigger than double DIN, which is why we had to buy that little adapter plate, and you'll see when we put it in. And it's just those 4 bolts and it comes out. Yeah, there we go. That's what I brought the magnet for. Right, and now in theory, you pull and it comes out.
That's as far as the lead's
Oh wow, it's got a fan in it. Okay, so what you've got now, as I can show on the camera here, there's a few little electrical plugs here, which I don't think I can do with one hand. Yeah, put the camera on a tripod, on a suction cup, just to make life easier. Where's the lid for this? So, fitting kit. Comes with the wires and the aerial. That's for the radio. If you want to have the radio, we've got the bezel and then the brackets, which are in the snow. So they're the back of the radio. That's your car. So I think it's just these two. I need that. I don't know what all of that in your hand is, if I'm being honest, but the fitting kit only has that wiring for it, so we'll see if it works with just that.
Nervous laughter.
But if the new radio has its own GPS and all that stuff, it's not going to use any of this. So we'll find out in a second.
Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, dum, dum.
We'll see if you sing well enough for that to be a copyright strike. That box has better tolerances than some car parts I've bought, which says a lot. And then the main thing itself. So this has all the sub feeds on the back. We've got, weirdly, one of the things that you liked about this is it has a front camera and a rear camera input. So we could put a front camera on this as well. I don't think USB charging will supply enough, and the other one here is for CarPlay and Android Auto, but I think it's bought to be wireless. So in theory, we should only need the camera outputs here. Annoyingly, you then have to put this adapter from the car into this adapter for the stereo itself. Get the box. And then plug that into the radio. And in theory, that should all work. So if you want to hold, you can let go of those cables. Just plug that into there. Because that should give you an actual radio. I'm not sure. Oh, that's for your amp, I think. Do you want to do the honours of the peel? You enjoyed that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to start the car because your compressors are going to kick in. So you'll hear the car. But that, if we've done this correctly, should light up.
Car's flat.
Yep. We are going to pull the battery, charge the battery, and then we'll have to test that's working later. The way that this fitting kit works is we have replacement brackets, which were what we unbolted to start with on the original car. This then screws into the side of the stereo itself, and then it's just a stock fitting. But there's multiple screws, there's multiple holes on the side of this. So I think we're just going to have to guess to start with to get the depth right, and then we might have to pull it out and adjust it again. So I think my guess would be start there.
We should probably do a little test fit. It's difficult to manoeuvre when your hands only just about fit around the radio, and they have nails. I made many decisions and none of them good.
See how you got on. Car is now on charge. It's a trim piece.
That's going to be too high.
Goes that way. Right, okay.
I could have told you that without popping it onto the screen.
If anything, it feels too far back, doesn't it? I know everything's not clipped into place, but...
I wouldn't clip it in place, but yeah, it's too far back.
I think the height is fine.
No, because it's right up against that.
Okay, then they're not the right screw holes. So we're going to trial and error this until we find the right spot for it. I think most annoyingly, that's all we can do for now, because the car's got no charge. The only other thing to do is run the cables to the back for the subs. Yeah, let's run the cables and wait for the car to charge. While the car has been charging, I've run a few cables. I've connected everything up here, so we've got, that's the antenna for the radio, we've got the rear camera, that's run through, that's connected up there as well. We've got the remote for the amp, that's there. And the RCAs for the subs as well. The camera and the sub cables run through the center console here, and then I run the power cable under here just to make things easier. They should be separate anyway, but yeah, I thought might as well since we've got the room in here. And then I'll quickly show you the back so you can see the boot here. So the power cable comes up underneath that compressor there on that side of the car, and then you can see the RCAs, the remote, and then the reverse cable, which is the black one. I don't know whether you can see that one come up there. The reverse camera itself, I need to run the cable up through that grommet under there, through there, up underneath here, and then we're going to mount it up here, as that's where the where it is, probably on one of the sides, because that's a nice sort of flat spot to put it in. I mean, in a perfect world it goes in the middle here, but that's not very flat, so we've got a spot on that side and a spot on that side, but I don't really want to go any further without the car being charged. So yeah, it's also very, very cold out here, so yeah, we're gonna let the car charge, do a systems check, so check everything works. I do need to put power and ground to the camera itself. So the way that it works is obviously the radio itself triggers the camera and says I want a feed, and I need power and ground, and you get these from the reverse bulbs. Now I don't know where the wiring is for that in here, because on a GT86 the reverse light is right down the bottom there, so I'm assuming if I lift this up there'll be a grommet or something somewhere where the wiring comes back in. I can tap into it to get the live and the ground from there. There's a ground under here which we're using for all the other stuff that's back here anyway. If I just need a straight up power supply, there is we put a bus bar in there, so there is a spare fuse in there if we need it for something else. I don't think we will, because there's a fuse up front for the main power that would run back here anyway for the amp, and I just need to ground that. So there's just a little bit of wiring to do, but I need to do a systems check before I start doing any more work. So just gonna have to give this a little bit of time, wait for the car to charge, and then warm myself up in the meantime, and then I can check everything works, fit the camera, and then actually finally fit everything, and then we can do a proper systems check when it's a final systems check, I should say, once it's all in place. So yeah, just gotta play the waiting game now. Hopefully the snow will have gone by the time we come back and it'll be a little bit warmer. the car was a bit of a pig. It wouldn't get the camera wouldn't come on, basically. I tried with a multimeter, that didn't give me any answers. I ended up looking online and just committing and connecting everything up. What happened was the car wouldn't give a reverse signal if the plug wasn't actually plugged in. So now I've committed, plugged it all in. I've got a little bit of a janky cable situation going on here, but if I now put this into reverse, the car gets mad at me and the reverse camera comes on. Put it back into park and it's gone. So this is now all working. We need to put the amp and the sub in, check that works, and then basically tidy all the wiring away and put it all back together. Quick clip without the microphone, so this might be terrible audio quality, especially with cars going past. But this is now in, this works, as you'll have seen on the previous clip. If I can get it with the sound, I'll play it. I did play Crab Rave because it's copyright free. But now I need to cram that in there. I'm going to clean this up, so it's got a little bit of spray from when I painted the car. And then I've got to mount the camera up here somewhere, and we tidy everything away. But yeah, everything's now functional. Right, we are all wired in, we are all tidied away, other than the seats in the back, which I need to pop down, and a couple of little bits of trim and just clear out all the tools. But we are basically done. So this might be a little much. So this is a volume of 5. Yeah. We might have to turn the subs down just a touch, but like I say, we are changing that sub box anyway. The other thing to point out here is if I put this into reverse, the camera is now properly mounted in a location at the back, and it's a bit misty out, so I think it's the camera's a little wet, but that now works. Okay, let's try that again. I didn't press record. So that's all done. Some of that was a little bit harder than I was expecting. The reverse camera trigger sensor for one. The kit that I got had different instructions to what the head unit needed. So if you ever do this sort of thing, just check your instructions, check wiring diagrams, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, other than that, yeah, great. We're going to change that sub box. So if you want to see what we change it to, just find me on Instagram. Links in the description, and we will see you next time. We are doing more mods on this, so I lied in the last video. Bye.